What's up, Gemini? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a super new moon solar eclipse tarot reading for the solar eclipse coming up on April 8th, 2024. It is going to be at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be at 19 degrees Aries, which puts it in the second mansion of the moon. You can read about that. It's about being assertive and confident, but not really new friendships. It's about solving conflicts in a lot of the way. But understand that the sun is also at 19 degrees Aries, and so is Chiron. It's a three-way perfect zero-orb conjunction. So healing is going to be a big part of this eclipse. If you're a Gemini ascendant, you're looking at your 10th or 11th house. So work. Your 10th house is the house of work. Could be some kind of healing around that. 11th house is your role in the social sphere, what you're going to give to the world or how you're going to help society. It could be some kind of rebirth in that, because that's what eclipses are all about. It's the death and the rebirth of the sun. It's what Easter is about. That's why it takes place during this time of year. It's what the whole celebration of Jesus' resurrection, the story is about. It's about springtime, the regrowth of everything. It's in the second decan of Aries where this is occurring, which is ruled by the sun, right? The sun wants to be here. But with the eclipse happening, the moon blocking out the sun's light, that is the death of the sun and the rebirth of the sun. And as microcosmic beings, representative, our heart is our sun, we too can be reborn and regrowth, and be reborn and become a more spiritual and bright, shining being. So understand that Chiron is an asteroid that is in between the orbit of Saturn and Uranus. Saturn on in, all the way to the sun, orbit-wise, those planets represent individual aspects because they move fairly quickly around the sun, Saturn being the slowest every 30 years, approximately. That represents the linear, material, mundane life of an individual. Uranus on out to Pluto, that is the more spiritual, collective, sacred nature of life. And Chiron is in between them. He's the bridge between the mundane to the sacred, right? So this is a very powerful time to be able to be reborn and grow. In the tantric traditions, Hindu traditions in general, eclipses are a great time for exponential spiritual growth. You can grow exponentially through spiritual practice during this time. I would recommend that if you physically can, to maybe fast on at least the day of the eclipse, or just do whatever spiritual practice that you like to involve yourself in, because you can grow so much during this time. This is about the death and the rebirth, becoming whole, from mundane to sacred. It's the perfect time for it, Gemini. And like I said, for you, being the 10th or 11th house, this could be something, it could be a death and rebirth of maybe a new job type of thing, or your role. Maybe you get a raise during this time. This is a great mansion of the moon to go to a superior and ask for a raise or a promotion. It's a good time for that. 11th house, that's your role in this greater social sphere. You may decide that it's time for you have a drastic change and you do something more for everyone around you, not just yourself, that type of thing. Chiron can bring sickness to those areas of your life too, because Chiron can represent great sickness, because it is the wounded healer. It's an individual that cannot heal themselves but can heal everybody else. But it can also represent great healing in those areas of your life. It can be a great healing at work in some way. It could be a great healing in your social life. It can also be a great sickness too. It just depends on the nature of your individual chart and where this falls in your birth chart. And that was for a Gemini ascendant. So you need to know what your ascendant is, which is you need to know the time of your birth for that. And that changes approximately every 2 hours. So you really need to know almost down to the minute to know exactly where your ascendant is, the degree. That way you can know all the aspects, and even transitory how this would affect you. Right there. But with that being said, Gemini, the card you got is prosperity lies ahead. So that's very good. And like I said, if you're Gemini ascendant and it's affecting your 10th house, You may be getting some kind of raise or a new job that pays more, something like that. Looks like your question's revolving around a fire sign, female or male, depends. Or you may have fire in your chart. So it could be you. Especially if your ascendant is fire, I would say. On the bottom, there's some kind of argument or squabbling, but I don't put a lot of into the bottom. I'll more look at this. But prosperity lies ahead, Gemini. You know, this could be you, but it could be someone in your life. But this person is crossed by the happy home card. I mean, your spouse could be a fire sign or a fiery individual. But, I mean, or if you're trying to be in more independent and assertive in your life, maybe you're not because you're more of like a family person. You're like, I like to be with my family unit. And again, with this solar eclipse and the rebirth of the sun, and that's what this is all about. And in that decan, which is ruled by the sun, you know, this is about being assertive, being a leader, right? So you may be transitioning from being a more passive, family-oriented, doing everything from everyone else to decide that, hey, maybe I should actually start doing something for myself. Not that you shouldn't help your family, but at some point you got to take care of yourself too. And you don't have to go unhealthy with that, but it's always good to also look out for you, because you can't do anything for anyone else if, you know, you're wore out, tired, and depressed. Anyway, you're crowned by great strength. She's got her hand in the lion's mouth. She does not care. She is not afraid. So, you know, your conscious influence is that you feel strong, you feel confident, which is very good, especially with it being this eclipse being in Aries. And prosperity is lying ahead. So you're feeling really good or strong about whatever it is that you're doing, or what you feel is making you prosperous. I mean, you have the Wheel of Fortune here. Could be some good luck coming your way. I mean, and that'll manifest differently for each individual. I mean, in the unconscious, you've been trying to create something or manifest something, and it's very likely that it's something work-related, or that it has something to do with money or abundance. We're always trying to make more money, right? All of us. We always want to be more comfortable, more secure. You may have been given money in some way or received like a raise or something valuable. This was in the recent past. Prosperity lies ahead. So something was given to you, like an offer, a job offer, something like that. Now, maybe they're like, we want you to be this boss or this manager and take on more responsibility, but you're crossed by your family life. You're like, yo, I don't know if I can take this much time away from my family and dedicate that much to this career, this opportunity. Or you don't feel like you have enough time with your family. But, you know, it's going to be different what your decision is. Are you interested more in the prosperity? Can you make it work, or can you not? You know, in front of you, it could be your child. You may have a young fire sign child. It could be somebody maybe that works for you, a young fire sign. Could just be that you're feeling like a kid again. You're feeling like inspired, like interested in this, and like it's great energy. Like that energy should be paramount right now with this eclipse. It's going to be the death of the old and the rebirth of new, right? Being more whole, confident, complete. It's going to play out on different levels for each individual, because it depends on what you're prioritizing in your life. If it is money that you're prioritizing, Gemini, then you could take great leaps and bounds right now. You may have water in your chart, because this is you right now. This is you feeling confident and happy. So you could have water in your chart, or you're just feeling really like emotionally content, like really happy. That's a great card to have in the spot of self. You know, in your environment, you got the Wheel of Fortune. It's great to have that in your environment. So this is the wheels of fate turning. So this is destiny stuff, but at the same time, it can just be that you're lucky right now. Things are going to go your way. You're going to have just outcomes. They're just like, oh, well, that's fortunate. Oh, that's fortunate. Oh, wow, that worked out. You know, I mean, those types of things. I mean, like happening, the serendipitous type things happening in your life right now, which is always awesome. It's been like that for me quite a bit. Even when things seem like scary or like they're bad, like things kind of just been seeming to work out for me lately. So I can kind of relate to that a little bit. Advice is saying look at things from a different perspective. So if you feel like that you won't be able to dedicate the time to whatever this is, like because of family or something like that, or obligations to family, try to look at it from a different perspective. Look at the bigger picture. See if there's a way you can make it work, right? Or if you feel like that you're not having enough time with your family, you see if you can figure out maybe a job opportunity will give you more time with your family. That'd be very, very nice. Get some kind of severance package or get some kind of big amount of money that like makes it where you don't have to work and you can spend time with your family. That'd be awesome. But the outcome is you not making a decision. Maybe you don't feel like you have all the information. It's saying look at a different perspective though before making your decisions. That's probably a good thing. You should be patient before you make any big decision. I wouldn't take too long because you don't want to lose the opportunity. But with that being said, prosperity is lying ahead, so I think you're going to make the right decision. You're just kind of waiting to see what all the ins and outs are before you take whatever this step is. It could have to do with family. It could have to do with work. I mean, it looks like it's between work and family and trying to figure like that out. Maybe the job takes you away from your family. I don't really see any travel cards here or there, so it's unlikely. It's more like the time that you're going to be able to spend with your family. That type of thing. Or with just whatever it is that makes you happy. Your friends can be your family, right? It just depends on the individual. Whatever it is you look at as your collective family. Could be that's your boss, that Queen of Wands. And they're like, here's this opportunity. And you're like, I don't know, because I got to do this. I got this responsibility. I got to pick this person up from school, or I got to do this. It's like, I don't know if I can do that. And so like right now you're just feeling like this. Look at it from a different perspective. Try to see the big picture. See weigh the pros and the cons. Is there going to be more pros or more cons to it? Right? Is it going to benefit your family more overall to get that extra money or not? Okay, with that being said, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting, Gemini. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it would help motivate me to make more videos. I'm trying to put as much time as I can into it right now, but until like this really starts showing some kind of results for me, not that it hasn't been. I'm grateful for every subscriber and everything that I have, but it hasn't like blown up or anything like that. It's just been like a steady grind. And I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to make as much content as I can with having to live my normal life and work and all that. But anyway, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just glad that you're here, and I hope to see you here again, Gemini. Happy solar eclipse.